From the headlines that move us
to the plays on the fields and the people making a difference.
It's news, sports, and stories that keep our community alive.
This is the Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
I'm Christopher Ingram.
And I'm Sarina Fazan. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
How you doing, Sarina?
Great. Christopher, how are you? I wanted to thank you so much for so many things, especially making my birthday so special.
Well, I know your birthday is important to you, and you look great for 39.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yes, everybody, 39.
To be 39 again,
Oh,
right?
yes. No, you were so special. Thank you.
Well,
oh, my gosh.
And it was Ted's birthday, too?
Yes, it was Ted's birthday, too.
So did you guys do anything fun?
Well, we went fishing. Oh my
I
gosh.
saw you sent me pictures like you
Yes.
actually went fishing. Now Ted's an avid fisherman, but
Yes.
you not so much.
You know what? I think that Buddy should share that picture of the big kingfish that I
we
sent
should
you, though.
we'll definitely put that up.
Because truly, I'm the one that caught that big one.
Yeah?
But I didn't have the strength to reel it in. Now, Ted may disagree, but I promise you,
Sarina,
what is it called when you hook it or whatever?
If you couldn't reel it in, you didn't catch that fish. You hooked it though? You were holding the line when it took the bait?
Okay, is that what it is? Like when you... Yeah.
So, but you got to actually bring it in to claim catching it.
I really couldn't though. I mean, it was a big fish.
Yeah, I saw it was big, yeah.
You've gone out on the boat. You guys have gone out fishing before too.
Yeah, Ted's a good fisherman.
So are you. It was so
Ted's
fun.
really good. He caught more fish in the first 20 minutes than Jay and I caught the whole day. He really did. It was fun.
Well, it was really special, but I wanted to thank you so much because I kept on looking at those graphics that Julie Schaefer also did for my birthday. And then she did another graphic, which you and I both shared on Facebook. That's
for Easter,
so
Easter eggs.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool. She
really
does a great job.
Yeah,
we got something special coming soon too, so we'll see.
So your birthday's next in June.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays. Obviously, baseball is back. We're also going to talk about, the stadium deal. Crazy events in Spring Hill, Florida man story.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. Yes, we have that to talk about. And then so we have some bizarre stories too.
We have some really bizarre stories.
Oh my gosh.
The lady that sneezes worms.
Yes.
Yeah.
To twins and who's the dad?
The paternity case. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then social media, dogs and other animals on social media, better than humans.
I know, making more money.
Right? I need to put Bingo and Kai, my Great Dane, on social media, I guess.
You should, actually.
I have a couple times, and it gets a lot of likes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk baseball. Spring training passed, and the season has started. The Rays had their first home game last week. They've got home games this weekend against the Yankees. I'm going to go to a game, and we have this deal that I think is absolutely horrible, that is being proposed by the Tampa Bay Rays and the Hillsborough County Sports Authority, led by Ken Hagan, a county commissioner of 3,000 years. And I say that because he's bounced around from district to district and kind of violated at least the intent of the term limits law, but in any event.
Christopher, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of Ken's right now. I spoke to him. I called him last week. And I did. I called him, and I called several members of the Tampa City Council, and I let him know my thoughts on the stadium. And this is a bigger boondoggle than I could have ever even imagined. Last week, it was being proposed that they wanted $457 million of taxpayer monies from Hillsborough County to build this stadium. Yesterday, I guess Thursday of last week, it came out that they want $2.3 billion for the stadium, and they want taxpayers from the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County to foot $1.1 billion of it.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let me put you on the hot seat for a minute. But how could it jump up so quickly like that?
Well, because people are foolish. They believe the nonsense that they were being fed earlier, that there wasn't going to be any, taxpayer dollars. That's nonsense. You just don't build a stadium without taxpayer dollars, because these stadium owners And the team owners are smarter, not the stadium owners. The team owners are smart, and they figure out ways to hoodwink the public into financing these stadiums all across the country. And they come out with these studies that say, oh, it's going to be this big economic impact and yada, yada, yada. The thing that they don't take into account in these economic impact studies is if there was no stadium, to go watch the Rays or the Bucks, people would spend that money somewhere else.
Well, but I still feel like, and of course I don't have all the studies and everything in front of me, but I do feel that sports really brings out people, though, maybe more so than other things, and sports at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I agree that sports is good. It bonds the community. It's absolutely good. But it's also a for-profit, privately held business that is owned by billionaires. And we, the taxpayers, are being asked to foot the bill to build them this stadium. And it's completely unfair. First of all, it's $2.4 billion is what was proposed last week. They want county and city taxpayers on the hook for $750 million from the county and $250 from the city of Tampa tax monies. And that means that those are dollars that cannot be spent for other things that are our needs. And there's a huge difference when you're in government and when you're looking at a budget, and a government's budget is an example of its priorities. And we have wants and then we have needs. The want is a stadium. The needs are our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, our sewer systems, our other things utility related that the city of Tampa and the county of Hillsborough are both horribly behind on. The city of Tampa has a 40-year backlog on repaving roads. Roads are supposed to be repaved every 20 to 25 years. In Tampa right now, the average repave is 40 years.
Now, just in case, you have not caught an episode of The Heartbeat of Tampa Bay, you might be surprised to learn this, but the roads are a huge, huge passion for Christopher.
Well, and I think they are for everyone.
Yes,
we all ride on these
like,
roads.
Believe me, I've had my car
bottom out and hit a pothole.
Yes. But I understand the need for money and the repairs and everything. But I do feel, and again, I feel like you're more well versed at this, but I do feel the money that can be brought in from sports and feeding into the economy. I mean, I do feel it might be able to balance out. Now, I do understand what you're saying, though, about it's taxpayer dollars and the billionaires who own the stadiums and the teams and the teams, I should say. But they are also providing $1.3 billion of the funding
to build the stadium for their for-profit team that they are going to own the naming rights to the stadium. They get all the concession fees. They get all the parking fees. It's a really good deal if you're the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a really crap deal if you're a taxpayer in Hillsborough County, because we have much more critical needs infrastructure-wise that need to be addressed. And this, again, is for a for-profit business that's going to benefit just that team owner, those team owners. It's a handout, it's a subsidy, it's corporate welfare, whatever you want to call it. And they, as part of the package, the Rays are claiming that they are going to do a redevelopment to the tune of $8 billion in the Drew Park area, which is just north of the proposed site where Hillsborough Community College is and across from the Raymond James Stadium. They're claiming they're going to redevelop Drew Park, and they're going to put $8 billion into it. Now, you dig a little further and they say, well, we're going to seek some government grants and we're going to seek monies from hurricane disasters to redevelop Drew Park. So when they say they're going to spend $8 billion, it's not even their $8 billion necessarily that they're going to spend on redeveloping Drew Park. And if they have $8 billion to redevelop Drew Park, why don't they just build their own stadium?
So guys, okay, you the viewers, I'm asking you. So Christopher has asked me, he said maybe that we should assemble a panel, right?
Yeah.
Maybe invite JP Peterson in, as you said, yourself. I would moderate. We'd like to invite the public, or maybe send us your comments and really, have a discussion about this.
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great. JP and I, I know JP. He's a big advocate of the stadium. He's obviously a sports guy.
Yes.
People in Tampa, they know JP. Great guy. We disagree on the stadium funding. And I think we should do it. We'll have a little
what do you
debate
think?
right
So
here.
JP, call out to you.
Yeah.
I'll be calling you later.
Yeah,
No,
let's call 'em up.
and we would love, honestly, I think it would be great to get comments from you, our viewers, on this topic.
Yeah, I think post them on any of our social media
Right,
sites,
yeah.
on Instagram, Snapchat, not Snapchat, Facebook,
There's so many,
TikTok. We're on all of them.
Christopher's actually a TikTok sensation.
No, I'm not.
Well,
no, we are.
No, trust me. Some of his comments and stuff. What was the one? Like you got what was 300,000 views?
200,000.
Yeah.
Talking about Naples. Yeah, talking about Naples. We got 200,000 views. They still get views and likes and comments on that comment about the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. And it was funny that you bring that up because I was telling Alicia, who does all our social media postings, she does all that, and she doesn't ask me which ones to post. But if she had called me and said, "Hey, I'm going to post this reel, this short on social media, and it's about your comments about the Ritz-Carlton in Naples," I would have said, "Don't do that. It's a show about Tampa. We got sidetracked on Naples because we were talking about the most expensive house in Florida that got sold that day." Anyhow, so she puts this thing up, and to date, it's had 200,000 views on TikTok, 140 some odd thousand on Instagram. And if you had asked me to put money on this is going to be our top showing for social media, that particular clip, I would have said you're crazy.
Well, just your recent comments though about the Roots Chris and the and the Chili's dress code on my Instagram alone, mine alone, and just at last count, because you and I were taking a look, it reached 100,000 people.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, the thing. I mean, it's divisiveness, right? Roots Chris versus Chili's. I made a comment about the Ritz-Carlton putting Naples on the map, and people always want to argue, they make comments like, "Are you stupid? Naples is always on the map." Well, I was speaking figuratively, obviously, whatever. But it's just crazy. You can't figure it out how these things are gonna.
No, but it's you, Christopher, because you're so I love how passionate you are, so passionate about this Rays issue as well.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to moderating.
I'm really, really not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of it.
Really?
And if we had better roads, if we had better general infrastructure, if we didn't have flooding, I would be okay with it, maybe. But it's still a big subsidy for a for-profit, privately held corporation owned by a billionaire. Why are we handing him money? Them. I don't get it. But we can move on.
We can. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been really fired up about this. Can you tell?
Maybe just a little bit.
I mean, when I saw last week that it doubled, it went from $450 million to $1 billion. I'm like, people have been hoodwinked into believing this thing is not going to be subsidized by taxpayers. It will.
That did surprise me too, though. I mean, how it went like that.
And they want to build it in just 3 years or something like that. They're forcing making time is of the essence kind of thing, which it's really not. They just want to move this thing as fast as possible so that they don't get opposition from the public, and the public is not educated about it right now.
Well, hopefully we will get a chance to educate them
We're
a little
trying
bit
to do
more.
our part here.
We are trying to do our part. Well, okay, just you're okay if we move on though?
Yeah,
right
let's
now
move
you're
on.
okay. But this story is so sad. I mean, why in the world? I cannot believe how things can arise like this. So a neighbor, this is happening in Spring Hill, right?
Hernando County.
Yeah, a neighbor, plays his music, and another neighbor gets so annoyed, it escalates. They argue. He pulls out a gun, shoots the neighbor.
Shoots the guy that was playing the loud music.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And the man dies.
He's dead.
He leaves behind a wife and 4 kids.
Unbelievable, isn't it? And the person who's the perpetrator, over something as benign and trivial and just in the grand scheme of things, stupid, total first world problem, right? Music is bothering him. It's annoying. Hey, guess what? That's what the cops are for. Call the police, right? Go out there and to confront the guy. First of all, he could have been carrying a gun, and he could have gotten pissed off and shot the guy that was complaining about the music. It wasn't that how it worked out, but to rise to the level of I'm so pissed off, I'm gonna take a firearm, point it at someone, pull the trigger, and kill them over loud music. Crazy.
And researching the story a little bit and the neighborhood, it said that it's a quiet neighborhood in Hernando County, and the victim would once in a while there would be a burst of music. It wasn't like
constant all the time.
It wasn't constant all the time, according to the police reports or the
neighbors' accounts,
the neighbors' accounts. So how senseless. And then you wonder too, with the perpetrator. Sometimes things happen, as we know, and hopefully, I mean, I'm stuttering about it because it's so upsetting. In heated moments, sometimes we do things that you
say or do and regret later.
Oh my gosh, like what did I, I mean, I wonder what he's thinking right now.
I mean, he's
got 2 lives destroyed.
He's destroyed his own life. He's destroyed that man's life. He's hurt those children and his wife that he left behind. It's just unbelievable over something so trivial and stupid. It's just loud music. I mean, we've all dealt with loud music from neighbors or people in their cars and that kind of thing, but it's not worth confronting people.
No.
With or without a gun. It's just not worth it because you don't know what they're going to do, how their reaction's going to be.
And especially nowadays.
Yeah. And in Florida where we're all packing heat,
when we were going through our story logs and deciding on what stories that we do, which Christopher and I do on a regular basis, you even said, here we go, another Florida man story.
Yeah.
Well,
in St. Pete, a week or two ago, there was an arson, a house fire, that then was determined to be arson, and an 18-year-old girl died. Her mother is in critical condition in the hospital, and 2 other siblings of the 18-year-old girl who died were in the house. They escaped without any harm done to them. It turns out that it was arson, and then it turns out that the perpetrator was an 18-year-old boy.
It's just
probably his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend,
right.
And he set their car on fire that then caused the house to burn down, and she died. And over something probably, senseless, silly, trivial, he got in an argument with her, I'm presuming, just because they're both 18. And why else would he do that? But yeah, he's ruined his life and killed someone.
I know. And when you mentioned that about them both being 18 and maybe it was an argument, in so many cases you always see there's some type of connection. It's really, really rare that it's some random crime.
Yeah.
It's really rare. I mean, I remember growing up, you always thought, well, it must be a random crime. But then you and I are both journalists. We covered news for a long time. It's very rare that it's some random crime. It's 95% of the time there's some type of connection.
To him. Yeah. Okay, this story is kind of gross. A woman who is from Greece was at some sheep farm watching sheep. I don't know why, that sounds like watching paint dry. She ended up getting this larvae that get into the nostrils of sheep. She got them into her own nose, and they got inside her nose cavity, and they actually nested there and started to grow. And she was sneezing out 1-inch long worms because the larvae actually went to the next stage and turned into worms, which was something that has never happened before.
It is so, I mean, can you imagine? Oh my gosh, I'd be so grossed out.
Right?
And didn't they say,
oh my gosh. It's moving around.
Didn't they say that her deviated septum that it provided like a
safe
warm,
harbor, yeah.
That is, but thank goodness she's okay. They say that she's okay and they got him out, right?
Can you imagine though?
No.
You got a sore nose,
yes.
Nasal decongestion or congestion, and then you go to the doctor and they start pulling worms out.
So gross.
And I guess she sneezed some out too.
Right, and it happened so. Again, watching sheep, near sheep, and she started feeling the symptoms like a week later.
That's just foul.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know too many people who can sneeze out some worms and not be really grossed out.
And you know what? It's kind of funny. Like we've talked about people who maybe seek stardom. I don't think anybody would want to seek stardom. Not that she wanted that. Yeah. Not that she wanted that, but. People know her now.
Right? Her 10 minutes of fame are, I had worms in my nose. Yeah, that's pretty foul.
And wouldn't you be worried? Would you be even though doctors say they got it all out, wouldn't you always be concerned that something might be in you?
Yeah, I mean, every time she gets a little tickle in her nose, she's probably going to be wondering if she's got larvae or worms in her nose. So, yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, bless her heart.
That's not cool. We haven't talked about dating in a while.
Yes,
right?
We have not. My favorite topic.
Your favorite topic of love.
Love. But you wanted to bring up something that was kind of interesting.
I forgot what it was.
About age
gaps.
Age gaps.
Yes, age gaps between people. I think the most famous one that in current times is Bill Belichick with his girlfriend that, I think she's still in diapers. I don't get it. I mean, and apparently I've talked to a lot of women around my age who say that 20-something-year-old men are very actively seeking out 40 and 50-year-old women.
Well, I had friends of mine too that were single, my age, which is that age group. Yes,
39.
Hate to break it to you, not 39, but yes, they were pursued heavily by men that age. I usually think, of course, age gaps. I always think of men and younger women.
Right, that's usually the way it is, right?
Yeah. Yes, and I do believe in love, and I do believe in true love, and all of that stuff. But you and I have talked about it. I mean, come on, especially with like Belichick or somebody. Aren't those women out? I always say it's the Gucci belt.
Right.
That's how I.
I think we've actually mentioned him once before, and he's looking for something that she's given him, and she's looking for something, or vice versa. They're both getting something that the other one wants. And I think for her, it's money, and for him, it's sex. Right.
So then, honestly, it's not our place to judge anybody, right?
Still, it's bizarre.
Yeah, and I think so. And sometimes, I've had many discussions about this with many people, with men, women, friends on, previous dating shows. It's sad to me sometimes if you're with someone and for a long time, and then how they say you trade in the older version for a younger version,
right?
But some men that I have talked to have said, so oftentimes though they're happy, they're settled, and they feel that the woman is constantly trying to seek better and better. Like once a man finds his nest, or I guess women nest, or his perfect cave, I guess.
Cave.
For the most part, they're content. Do you agree with that?
That men are content? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It was interesting to hear that.
What's your thought on women though? Do you think women are not content?
Well, that's what some male friends of mine were saying. Like they have felt that they have provided, the home, or and I know a lot of times both people, especially now, are working, and they're content, but their significant others are always seeking more and more and more and more.
The woman
is, and I guess I didn't see it as much that way, but, and I hope I'm making sense. But as times are changing, I think, everything is changing, right?
But there's still certain traditions, and it depends on what kind of person you are, where you grew up, how you're raised, that kind of thing. But I think that, definitely times have changed, and men have typically been the provider, right? Going back to, cavemen and prehistoric times, right? The male in most animal species is the provider and the protector.
Yeah.
And so I think that is basically ingrained in our genetics, both men in, wanting to provide that role, and women wanting men to fulfill it. But given that, so many women work now, and a lot of women, they make more money than their partner. And so this notion of, the man is the only provider, or is the one that always is going to pay, might be a little outdated.
I think so.
Because, if you go back to why was it always that men are expected to pay, it's because prior to the 1960s, most women weren't in the workforce. And if you asked a girl out on a date and expected her to pay, she'd probably have to go back and wash dishes because she didn't have any money.
Right. And we've discussed this before too. I do think though, and yes, it's gentlemanly. It's very sweet, I think, especially at the beginning of the courtship, because I am old-fashioned that way, when a guy might pick up the meal, or open the door, all of that stuff. I think that's so sweet. But I do think, especially if you're dating for a few months, if a woman should offer to pick up the check, at least offer to pick up the check. Don't you think that? Because for me, it's also the principle of the thing. Right. It's the principle. It's I don't know, being graceful.
Graceful.
For me, that's, that's me. Right. And we've interviewed a lot of people on the show, and I think overwhelmingly a lot of the women have said they do appreciate when a guy takes the first steps and asks them out and plans the date and does do all the traditional things, you know. But then at a point, they
maybe it should equalize a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about equalizing and dating. Oh man,
boy!
How about
Wowzer.
this? This is in the United Kingdom. There's a woman who had sex with 2 men in a 4-day period of time. So, no judgment here.
And we have little details on her. And
right, we have a few details about her. Other than after sleeping with 2 different men over the period of 4 days, she became pregnant.
Yes.
And guess what? She doesn't know which one impregnated her.
That's right, because guess what? The 2 men she slept with are identical twins.
Identical twins. And they can't, because they're identical twins, they can't do a DNA paternity test because it's going to show they're identical. How about that?
Nuts. It's nuts. And so, and this, this case is unfolding in court because initially she put on the birth certificate one of
the men's
guys.
names.
Then the other twin and the mother, and again, a lot of circumstances aren't being released right now, so it's kind of interesting, challenged that and said, hey, wait a minute.
It might be mine.
It might be mine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is sweet if you think about it that both of those young men, I think they're young men again, we don't know all the details.
Specifically, but it seemed like they were.
Because I saw like one report that said that they were 19, but we couldn't verify that they both want to take responsibility, which is honestly nice to see.
They both played part in the deed, just only one of their swimmers got to the finish line. But that's a crazy story, right? And I don't know, what does it say about that girl?
Well, before we even go there, but you know what they did say? They said that they might be able to determine which twin it is. But it's a big maybe, but it would be very expensive. It would be like really, like
they're gonna have to go so deep into that DNA that it's not like the normal paternity test.
And it was fascinating because they said even if they do that, they're not sure if there's a guarantee.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
We may never know.
We may never know. But it is the fascination of twins.
I had twins.
Yeah. I know you do.
It was cool. It was fun having twins. People say, "Oh, it was a lot." You just deal with what you're dealt. It wasn't that much harder.
But they're not identical, right?
They're not identical. My girls they're fraternal, and they don't look alike. They don't act alike. They don't always even like each other. But it was cool. It was cool raising twins.
I'm fascinated by them, like identical and fraternal. It's like it's yes.
I've got a friend who has twins, and he used to tell me he has a boy and a girl, twins, and he was like, you wouldn't believe the number of times we're in a grocery store, and the girl, her name was Annabelle, and the boy was Armand, and the girl would be dressed in pink, and the boy would be in a sports shirt or something masculine, whatever that a boy would wear. And people would come up, oh, are they twins? And he'd be like, yeah. And then they go, oh, are they identical? And he's like, yeah, they're identical except for one thing. Like, how stupid are people, right? It's just like, open your mouth and search your foot before you start.
Well, I think sometimes people, maybe it could be in a mistake.
It's kind of like when you're at the airport and the lady taking the ticket says, have a nice flight, and you say, you too. Well, she's not going anywhere.
Exactly. So, but quickly about twins. Do you have twins in your family?
Yeah. So my dad's sisters, my aunts, are twins, and my ex-wife, her grandmother was a twin.
Oh.
So we have twins. I think it's more on the maternal side, like whether or not if it goes down through genetics, it's on the woman's side, than not the man's. But yeah, we have them in both sides of my family.
I prayed and prayed and prayed for twins.
You did?
Yeah, but there's no twins in my family.
No twins. Well, I don't know. You could go to UK and visit with these twins over there. They seem to be good at impregnating women, but I don't think Ted would like that.
No, he probably wouldn't.
You're done with kids. We're both done with kids, right?
Well, if I had it my way, I would definitely. That's a whole other topic.
You wouldn't take a kid right now, though,
would you? Oh my gosh, if I could have a baby right now, 100%.
You would?
Yes.
At your age?
At my age, even.
39?
Yeah, 39.
Seriously? I would way. There's no way.
Yes, I would oh my gosh. And he's always so understanding about it, but believe me, not 39, so not happening.
You really would?
I really would. Yeah, I really would.
You're the reason why I got a vasectomy after I got divorced, because I was like, I do not want to meet some gal and fall in love with her, and she's like, oh, but let's have a baby, and I'd be like, okay. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the vet, get that taken care of, and then it won't even be an option.
But you're such a great dad, Christopher. Come on now.
But I don't want any more kids. And I've told my girls, I'm like, I have changed my last diaper. If I have grandkids and I start to smell a stinky, I'm gonna be like, here you go, because I ain't changing it.
I don't know. You might change your mind when, one of your girls.
When it's actually there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like changing diapers though. Do you know? Are you familiar with the concept strategic incompetence?
No.
Strategic incompetence.
Yes.
I shared this with my friend Roy when he and his wife had twins actually, and he said, "Oh, I'm just dreading having to change diapers." I said, Roy, do you know what strategic incompetence is? And he said, no. I said, well, in your case, strategic incompetence is when your wife asks you to first go change the diaper, like the first time she asks you to change the diaper, do a really poor job of it on purpose, like put the diaper on upside down, backwards, strap it the wrong way, don't wipe their butt really good, that kind of thing. And she'll never want you to change the diaper again. It's strategic incompetence.
Okay, so now.
He said it worked.
Oh my gosh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people are listening to this, and then the women will wise up and say to them, that is strategic incompetence. Shame on you.
I changed a lot of diapers. I did not do that. I think the only time I really engaged in strategic incompetence was when I was a kid. And I would purposefully do a really crappy job of unloading the dishwasher because I hated it. I banged the dishes around, and my mom would come around and she'd be like, "Get your sisters to do that," and they'd be like, "Mom, he's doing it on purpose." She's like, "I don't care. I don't want him breaking my dishes."
So cute. Well, speaking of the diaper thing, though, I've got to tell you, Sammy's dad. Oh my gosh, talk about. We had every single car seat that was the best. Every single whatever. He was obsessed. He would not even let me change the diaper.
Really?
You know what he would say? He'd be like, "Oh my gosh, are you hurting her?" I'm like, "I'm not hurting her."
Are you hurting her?
Are you hurting her? He's like, "I think you need to be a little bit more gentle."
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah. So it was I'm like, "I can change the diaper." He's like, "No, I've got it." And he's like, "I'll also give her the baths." I'm like, "Okay, yeah."
Wow.
So
So that's cool. You wouldn't argue over changing diapers with me. I'd be like, there you go. Knock yourself out. Okay, different subject. Dogs.
Yeah, it was from babies, from sweet babies
to puppies.
To the fur babies.
Right.
But this is so funny because we read this article, we were researching that dogs make more money on social media than even humans.
Right. They have more followings. They get more engagement. Apparently are more interesting and make more money. They get monetized better than most humans do.
I know.
Yeah. And they said, the article had said, even an average dog social media site, like an average one that only has 1,000 followers, I guess is what they're calling average. Those 1,000 followers are more than what 90% of humans have. 90% of people on social media have fewer than 1,000 followers.
Isn't that incredible?
But you put a dog, even an average dog's website or social media site is going to get 1,000 followers.
You know what else I found very interesting? So that, and also, even when they had the dog basically endorse something that's very human, like drinking wine, or
really?
Yes, if they put the dog in with a picture of wine or whatever,
okay, yeah.
that people trusted the dog more. Isn't that something?
Well,
yeah, and so it's interesting though when we talk about the dogs making more money. Of course, it's the pet owner that is probably
we got a benefit,
yeah,
for sure.
But people really, honestly,
pets.
Yeah, fur babies are there.
You like to talk about love?
Yes.
Do you know how to determine true love?
How?
You want to know what true love is?
What?
Take your dog and take your girlfriend, or in your case, your boyfriend, and shove them in the back seat of the trunk of your car and close it. And then come back an hour later and open it, and you'll find out what true love is.
And how do you determine
But the dog is going to love you. Your boyfriend or girlfriend is going to want to beat you up with their head with its stick.
You're so...
Lock him in a car for an hour.
It took me a while to get
You
that,
need more
guys.
caffeine.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that.
No, I would never do that. I wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that either.
No, I would not. I know better than that. All right, so what's our last story we're going to talk about today?
Well, we were going to talk, we've talked a lot. We always have fun talking, but we were talking about spring break. And I love living in Florida. Yeah. I know you love living in Florida too. Yeah. Have you felt some of, the spring break stuff?
You know when I noticed it, I went out to the beach in the boat a couple of weeks ago, and we went to north side of Shell Island Preserve. There were so many kids, like high school and college age looking kids out on the boats at that time. But I haven't been to any of the beaches that are accessible by car and seen what that looks like. But you were up in Clearwater Beach last weekend, weren't you?
Yeah, Clearwater Beach. And for my birthday, we went to Anna Maria and the Bradenton area. And Sammy is so blessed. She has friends that live there too, and she goes over there. That short little bridge from Bradenton to Anna Maria, I cannot even tell you.
I'm backed up.
I mean, how backed up it is. It's like an hour.
Yeah.
And then in Clearwater too, because I'm in Clearwater quite a bit as well.
Were there a lot of kids up in Clearwater last week?
Oh my gosh! I mean, it's just it's. I mean, I love seeing it, but it definitely we are feeling it. And as you know too, when we did that. We talked about a few months ago how Tampa is also amongst one of the most popular places.
For spring break, yeah.
And yesterday I was going home. I was driving, to Davis Islands, and wow, the traffic, it was just unbelievable. Like on Platte, it was just
bumper to bumper.
Yeah, it was bumper to
Well, the snowbirds will be going home soon. Usually they go after Easter or shortly thereafter, so hopefully that will happen. I grew up in Naples. My grandparents and my dad are all very, kind of Southern, grew up in the South, even though I was born in Naples, but was exposed to Southern culture a lot. And we used to call snowbirds Yankees. My granddad did. Yankees, the damn Yankees. You know what the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee is?
What?
A Yankee is someone who comes down from New York, New England, wherever, up north, and they come to Florida and they stay January, February, March, maybe April, and then they go home. A damn Yankee comes down, stays January, February, March, April, and never leaves.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
All right, with that, we will sign off, and we're going to come back. We'll be here next week and doing our show again. We love it. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to drop us a comment on our social media platforms, Heartbeat of Tampa Bay. I think one of them, it's just Heartbeat Tampa Bay. I think that might be our Instagram, but it's Heartbeat of Tampa Bay everywhere else. Anyhow, we have a great time.
We do.
Yeah.
It's the best.
All right.
It's the best.
Every story shared
adds another heartbeat to Tampa Bay.
From courage to community.
We're so proud to tell the stories that keep our neighborhood strong.
Thanks for watching The Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
Yay. Yay, we have so much